good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipo Macquatch, standing bear, Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author, United States Swimming National Team member, former United States Swimming National Team member, and uh, welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the medicine circle. It really tells us that nobody's in charge here, especially me. I do not want to be in charge. I just want to be sitting with you, right next to you. I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of the circle. And there's really no other place that I'd rather be this morning. And again, we are the medicine. We are coming to you live from Plauen, Germany. It's Old East Germany, and just really enjoying my trip so far. We went to a Montessori school the other day, and we got some really beautiful positive feedback. The children wanted to hear like a little bit about the Indigenous experience from Turtle Island. None of them have ever met a real Indigenous man from Turtle Island. So what was so beautiful about that is they just asked a bunch of questions, a bunch of really beautiful questions, and kind of like, do you guys live in a house? Do you use cell phones? Do you live in a teepee? Do you still hunt buffalo? These are the kind of questions. So yeah, we had a great time, and so they had asked me to come back and do it again. So we are planning the next visit there. So anyway, not quite sure why I said that right there, but hey, one of the most important things that we start out with. Most important things that we need to hear, spirits in the air. If no one said that they love you today, I love you very much, which really simply means that I want you to live your very best life, to be the very best version of you. And the fact is, my elders said we can't do it alone. We have to come to circle. We have to sit here and pray and pray with each other and for each other. And that's how we find the very best, and connect to all these things that give us life: air, water, fire, and earth. And so it's not complicated. It's not easy, but it's not complicated, right? Let's put it that way. So yeah, let's okay, a couple of housekeeping announcements. We are coming off two platforms. So over there is YouTube. So we've got some people over there. Standing Bear, the author, YouTube channel. So go over there, like and subscribe. And so we have a whole library archive of all the lives that we've done here. So if you're having a moment, just go over there and just kind of sit, relax, scroll through, and find something that interests you. So yeah, and we are going over Whispers from the Hollow Bone, August 2nd today. So that's the other thing. And also takeaways, I guess. And you guys reminded me the last couple of days to for the takeaways too. That's your idea. So just kind of keep in mind what you want to take from this circle. Don't just come here and then turn off and then just go back to your own life. That's what we mean. Not like, there's certain messages for everyone. And so you guys wanted to remind everybody of that. That's from you. And let's start off in the good and usual way. Let's start off with get a good smudge going on here. Just a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. It's a little cloudy and rainy here. The Cloud Nation is here, and the rain is here, and it's just a beautiful day. So it's always a good day for smudge. So anyway, a couple things before we start the smudge. It's We need a volunteer, so just give me a little heart, give me a thumbs up to kind of keep this smoke going through that throughout the morning meditation. That is in remembrance for the residential school, the Catholic residential school children who never made it home, the ones that were murdered. And so now they're finding mass graves, and so we are calling them home right there here in a good way. It is the smoke that connects us. Also, we want to thank the grandmother who came up with this prayer and this suggestion, and so we want to thank her very much. She's out in British Columbia, so that's perfect. Okay, so let's start here. If you would like to offer too, that seems to be an ongoing question. So that's okay. Yes, if you would like to. Yes, if you would like to offer with us, that would be good. As my elder would say, a little pinch of tobacco, and a little help from above. And if it doesn't start with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with offering, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a really good and beautiful way. And then Kitchi-Manitou, Great Spirit Creator, Chi-Meg-Wit, thank you. Chi-Meg-Wit for our breath, Chi-Meg-Wit for our circle, Chi-Meg-Wit for our day, Chi-Meg-Wit for our life. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that place in between. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way. We come here to learn to live in accordance with spiritual law, natural law, universal law, to align our hearts, our minds, and our bodies, the spirit, along with the great spirit, the great prayer, both seen and unseen. That's what we are here to do. We may come here for many reasons, and that is good. But the first reason always is life. Always is life. Without life, we have nothing. Without life, we have nothing. So we come here and we celebrate all life, all nations, circles, and tribes. What I celebrate in you, I celebrate in myself. What I fail to celebrate in you, I fail to celebrate in myself. So if we only come here for ourselves, we are selfish. We want to be selfless. So we celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles. Like the standing nations, the ones who offer the world breath, we say thank you. To the swimming nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water. The winged nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. The creepy crawlers and the slitherers are the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. We say thank you. To the four-legged nation, circles, and tribes, to all the four-legged nation, circles, and tribes. We understand that you offer us and teach us so much to and for our humanity. We say thank you. And of course, to all other two-legged nation, circles, and tribes, we understand that you are our teachers as well, and this makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We come here and we celebrate those things and those spirits, air, water, fire, earth, those things that give us life, those spirits that give us life, those ancestors that give us life, and we are grateful for that. We are grateful for the ones who have come before us. We are grateful for the first bear and the first eagle, fox, wolf, panther, otter. And you walking a corner in life is what is our offering toward the next 7 generations. So thank you for honoring your spirit and honoring your prayer. We are struggling down here, and that's why we are here. And we also understand that some of the two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed those hurts, wounds, and trauma to us. Trauma ongoing. We understand this in the morning, and during this period, it's okay not to be okay. And let's understand we are here in a healing process. We are here in a healing circle. We understand during this process, again, it's okay not to be okay. And we understand during this healing process, we will discover our good relations. We are here to make good relations, to be good relatives. And we will begin to hear and see the first prayer at the center. And the further along the healing we go, we will begin to see and hear and feel the first prayer at the center of the universe, harmony and balance. And that is a good thing. And we are here to live our lives in a good way, in accordance with spiritual law. That is the healing. And we don't do it again just for ourselves, because that would be selfish. We do this for the next 7 generations. Again, the how we live our life, how we heal, how we don't heal is our offering to the next 7 generations. So we live in the intersection between 2 unseen worlds. They hear and see everything that we do, everything that we say. They hear and see that. So let us offer today ourselves in a good way. Let us offer these prayers of love and light in all directions. And when we do, we will begin to see something. We will begin to see, that clarity, that with beautiful intent, we see that clarity. A path will be made. That path is a red road, the road of wellness, the road of unity and love in all people and all nations and all tribes. We sit here on the same road. We are to be here to help each other, to use kind words, listen to the grandfathers and the grandmothers, listen to the teachings that have been offered to us, humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom, and courage. We are to sit with these. They will give us a good life. And once we sit with these, once we walk with these, once we sit in the same circle, once we know the spirits of all these, the spirit of humility and love and truth, honesty and wisdom, courage and respect, once we sit with all these, we will begin to understand that we have a beautiful life and that we have a beautiful place in this circle, the circle of life. In fact, we will begin to find value in what we do and how we do it. We will not question or blame each other anymore, because we will understand that we were all on a journey. So let us remember, let us be gentle with each other today. Oh, all right. Okay, well, good morning again, everyone. Once again, my name is Kanibu at Macquash, Standing Bear, Sarasota Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, coming to you live from Plauen, Germany, and it's very exciting. So a couple things before we begin in earnest here. There's like preamble things, but I don't like the word preamble, but I'm going to use it anyway, just because, I'm going to use it. Okay, hollow bones. That's why we are here. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So the prayer that we just said is a hollow bones prayer. That means a connection. That's what that's. So right hollow bones, right a right connection too. Also, we just had some connection issues. So if there's a little, if I freeze or anything, just know that I'm not going anywhere. That goes for both platforms. So like if we get a little spinning wheel of death, just know that I'm not going anywhere. So yeah. And with that, the coffee. So hollow bone. So for those of you who are new, we understand that there's a life force out there, right? A beautiful, beautiful, powerful life force, right? It is represented both seen and unseen, spiritual and physical. It travels through. It is a level of consciousness, a level of teaching. It's represented. This consciousness, this hollow bones, that has a voice, a very distinct voice, has very distinct teachings related to all the 7 grandfather teachings, all the 7 grandmother teachings. and again, it's like one of those sunrise medicines, like new beginnings. Like who doesn't like new beginnings? I like new beginnings. I'm having a really good life, but I love new beginnings to keep this beautiful thing going, to keep my recovery going. How about that? New beginnings there. Just and gratitude is always associated with new beginnings, right? We can't have one without the other, right? It's kind of like like if not, we're still kind of stuck in that mistake. So, and from a guy who's relapsed like thousands of times, it's just like, okay, now I'm just grateful I'm here. I'm just grateful I'm sitting with you, right? I'm grateful for the fact that I can say that I love you. How about that? I'm grateful for the fact that I can say that I love myself today, and not in a conceited way, but in a very gentle, loving, compassionate, understanding that my journey, right? So we don't have to go and beat ourselves up for the mistakes of yesterday, for the mistakes of 5 minutes ago. You know, the the recovery process, right, is a gentle process, right? I didn't say it was easy. I said it was a gentle process, and those who are struggling with being gentle with themselves will probably repeat, right? Right? Because that blame, shame, guilt would just, you know, I'll do it again. Don't say you're sorry. Sorry without changed behavior is something else. What we want to do is we want to change that behavior, and hollow bones is exactly the way we do it. It is a full circle. It is about recovery. It is the recovery process. So we are not separated from that. We are that. We are that beautiful, beautiful recovery process. And again, there's no blame, shame, or guilt in the hollow bones. We connect or we don't. It's contrast medicine. I thought, 29 years ago, I've been with my elder over 30 years, but 29 years ago, I thought I knew something. I've been sitting around the ceremony like 5 minutes, right? So Grandfather Tony starts talking about contrast medicine, right? And I've done a little reading about the medicine wheel, and I'm like, Tony, there's no contrast medicine, right? And he goes night and day, and I'll go, ooh. Ooh. And I think that's one of the last times that I really, I questioned Tony, right? I think it's one other time where I just really questioned, but other than that, I did not question him. So anyway, that's kind of hollow bones. I really like to keep that fluid because having a static definition, it just doesn't work with me. Because kind of like every day, right? So okay, so ancestors and elders, it's really important that again, it's going back to that place of gratitude, man. If we're not grateful, man, I'm just grateful for every relation I have in my life. I'm just so grateful. And sometimes we get the opportunity to share that gratitude, right? It's so important because one, it creates those beautiful, beautiful bonds, right? So that's why we begin in the morning with with a pipe ceremony, and that's so traditional, right? We just sit there with the pipe and we just thank you for everything. It doesn't matter. We don't label anything good or bad. That's the thing. There are situations that are difficult and have to be dealt with, but really, those situations are really there to, in the long run, to help us grow, mature. There's people coming in and out of our lives, and that's okay. They are there to help provide us, and um, if we come from that place of like hurt, then it looks like it's what's happening to us, right? Not what's happening for us. And again, that gratitude, guess where it comes from? It comes from the elders, just as intergenerational trauma comes down to us, right? So does here, here we go, intergenerational courage, right? But guess what also comes down that we really never talk about? Grandfather Tony talked about it sometimes. But that intergenerational gratitude. I need everybody to write that down. That is so clear, so present, so important. And like when I do circles here in Germany, that's one of the things that always comes up because they're real recent relatives, made a lot of mistakes here, and there's a lot of long faces, a lot of sad faces that aren't smiling because they're still suffering from not only their abuse, their trauma, And there are mistakes, but like the way we do that, if we climb ourselves out of it, right? And gratitude is great medicine. There you go, gratitude. There, it takes great courage to the courage, to step into that gratitude. And again, it's something that we do. It's not easy, but this is brought to us by the ancestors, and really connecting to those beautiful ancestors is the way to a healthy and beautiful life. In fact, we're going to talk about that today in the reading. Again, you don't have to send me a private message. You just kind of so we're going over Whispers from the Hollow Bone, August 2nd today. So yeah. Circle medicine. Okay, circle medicine. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one above us, no one is below us. That means that's the definition for equality, right? That's the deal. That, we live in a world that we call it. We don't have to go there. We don't have to recognize it because we're already there, right? We just have to understand it mentally and emotionally that we are all the same and that we are all intertwined. We're all intertwined and overlapping. Some people might be over here. Some people might be over there. We got Marianne, Daniela, Chrissy J. Chrissy, I love you. And Trish Knight. And we have all these beautiful people here, right? And yeah, so let's come here. Let's celebrate each other. Let's be grateful that we're here. Again, it's another beautiful day here in Germany. A little overcast, a little rainy, but we love that little cleansing for us. That's it's like a real life-giving day when it rains. It's a life. It's giving us life, right? Giving us cleansing. So it's a really, really beautiful day. So okay, sacred feminine. Okay, here we go. This is so the contrast medicine comment would be that the colonial Western world marginalizes, minimalizes, forgets, the sacred feminine, right? Right, and that is so sad, right? How can you marginalize or minimize, not even listen to, respond appropriately to the ones who have given us life, right? The life givers. That's really all I have to say. Just the life givers. That's like That's like completely inappropriate and irresponsible, and it is the beginning of genocide. And you see the ways the Western colonial patriarchy world is that they live and create in this world of genocide. But over here in indigenous spiritual realms, we understand how beautiful and powerful the life givers are, and remember the life givers. It's not a one-time event. Like to give a birth, to have one or two babies, two or three, something like that. And that's an event. But the life givers is a prayer, right? Life is a prayer. Write that down. Life is a prayer. Life is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful prayer. So we have to understand as people, humanity, society, our role in that beautiful, beautiful life-giving event, right? Right. We just have to understand that. So again, back up with of gratitude, and like if we don't understand something, doesn't mean that like it doesn't mean that we should reject it. It means that we should sit with it more, right? See, yeah, right. So okay. So question of the day. So somebody sent me something. Oh, please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them, but I'm kind of on the road here, right? I'm kind of traveling through the thing, doing my thing here, doing men's circles and healings and all this stuff, and doing a lot of speaking, going to schools, kind of sharing the love, sharing the indigenous experience, doing a couple teachings. So I might not get around to your comment right away, comment or question. Like if I don't, please have some patience with me because I am on the road, and I try to come here, sit with you as often as I can. In fact, it's just like one of those things that I really love to do. So, okay. There was somebody sent me some sort of meme a couple of days ago, or a couple of days ago. Could have been yesterday. I don't know. We've been real busy here. So, talking about the difference between obligation and entitlement in the spiritual indigenous realms. Right. And I get that. This is a real traditional teaching, right? right? Right. So, contrast medicine. That's what we're talking about. Write that down. Big contrast medicine. Okay. So, um, this is like the difference between the Western colonialistic toxic world, the military industrial complex world, the corporation, the conglomerates, the corporate mafia, right? That's over there. And so, and with the circles here, right? So, entitlement, right? Entitlement is a touchstone for greed, hate, resentment, and fear. Right? Entitlement. It's almost the polar opposite of what? Gratitude, right? Right. Without gratitude, what? We become entitled. And once we entitled, then what? We can take whatever we want, how often. And entitlement says, we're different because I need something to take from you. That's what it says, right? It gives us this false image of being right, right? Well, I'm right. You know, I'm a Republican and I'm right. I'm liberal and I'm right. And I'm this and I'm right. And I'm that and I'm right. But what you're doing is you're creating a sacred center for chaos. That's the wrong sacred center, right? It's like, it doesn't align with spiritual law. That's what I'm saying. The bottom line, it doesn't speak with spiritual. Okay, entitlement, like believing that we have rights. Okay, the patriarchy is an entitlement, right? Okay, well, the white guys are way up here, and then the rest of us are kind of like the peons, and like we're way down here, right? So, okay, obligations, right? I'm not quite, I'm not, I'm not quite down with that word, but it works here, you know. I like spiritual responsibility, right? Being spiritually accountable, right? Right? Learning to be spiritual accountable, right? So, okay, entitlement, obligations. Okay, what do we have an obligation for? What is our spiritual? Do you think here? Let me ask you this question. Write down this question. Do you think? Life is a gift, right? A beautiful, beautiful, right? But do you think that we should offer something back? Right? We have been given this great opportunity. Is this a place for greed to just like living luxury and have everything we need and have services here and have a nice car and all this and live in a lap of luxury? Right? That's okay. I'm not suggesting that, but what I'm suggesting is, being accountable and responsible in all directions. Right? Right? That means being accountable and responsible for being grateful and thankful and taking care of the ancestors. Right? And it's not spiritual payment, it's not spiritual rent, but it kind of is, right? 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 Mother Earth gives us here. Here's a different way to look at it. Mother Earth gives us everything for free. Why are we destroying her? Right? Because of entitlement and greed. Right? Because we're not being accountable or responsible to the ones who have offered us life. Right? Up into including Mother Earth. Right? Right? We answer to, my elders say, we answer to the elders. We answer to the ancestors, right? That's who we answer to, right? Someday I'll be sitting, back in that circle again, right? I want to tell them while I was here, I did my very best to help others, to teach others to be accountable and responsible, right? Right. The ancestors here, Prince Tears Mine, the ancestors brought me from the brink. I am so convinced of that. So the grandmothers, the prayers brought me from the brink. They were helping me when I couldn't help myself, right? Right. The ancestors have never left. May have forgotten, but they've never left, right? Right. And let's talk about the ancestors here. Who is our ancestors? And a lot of you think it's just the two-legged. No, it could be, and probably is, you know. But the ancestors are the one who walk in a beautiful, powerful, spiritual way. The Eagle nations. We have the same DNA as the eagle. Right? We have the same DNA as the bear. We have like half the DNA of like a tree, right? You know, right? Right. We have a responsibility to take care of that and to take care of them and to honor the way they walk. That's the deal right there. That's the deal. We are here to honor the way they walk and their gift to us. I love you. I love you. We are here to honor those who have come before us, and how we do that is we listen to them. How many people really know that we're supposed to be listening to the ancestors, right? Like, how many people do that? I'm only just kind of like, yeah, thank you, grandma, granddad. Yeah, that's freaking great. You know, that's good. But you know, yeah. But the ones who walk in a really good spiritual way, they're the key. And if we're not listening, and if we're not talking to them, we don't have good communication. We don't have, we are here to be good relatives, to make good relations, to seen and unseen. That is a huge part of it. And without it, how are we supposed to live a good life? And many of us can't figure that out. Most of the messages that I get about drinking and drugging and all these self-serving behaviors, having having not being able to live in a healthy relationship, right? Living in lustful relationships, right? Instead of loving relationships, living lustful, they get that confused, like that love confusion, right? Multiple people, right? Kind of like that. It's just really, really, not healthy, right? So, but the closer we get, the closer we understand. There's healthy boundaries there, right? But entitlement has no boundaries, right? That's here. Entitlement has no boundaries. Greed has no boundaries. Takers have no boundaries, right? Right. But when we observe, when we hear, when we listen to, when we sit with, when we connect to this thing called life and love, when we connect to humility, they teach us good boundaries. They teach us healthy boundaries, right? Right. They teach us how to live a good life. Right? We all want to live good lives, right? But a lot of us don't know how, and sometimes it's circumstances like someone's going, someone's leaving type thing. That's usually the normal one, right? So someone like how do we move through that, right? Well, it's difficult, right? But what's not difficult is going to that place. Our obligation is to listen. Here, write that one down. To listen in those moments of crisis, right? Chaos and crisis, right? That is part of our obligation. That is part of our responsibility. Right? And there's a lot of us that run away, right? Like they drink or do other things, right? Create other chaotic situations, and then they kind of like don't mean to do it, and they kind of back into it, right? And again, or some people just drink and drug in, or just whatever, right? Create another unhealthy relationship. They jump from, and I did that. I jumped from one unhealthy relationship to like the other, right? Right, and then I said no thanks. I said no thank you after that. But anyway, so anyway, what time is it? Okay, we're running way over. So Please give your questions, concerns, comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. But, okay, so we are here for the reason why we are here. Again, good morning, everyone. And if we could get a volunteer to put Whispers from the Hollow Bone August 2nd into the feed, that means put the entire meditation into the feed. You guys are really funny. You put August 2nd and you don't put anything else. So please put the entire, please and thank you in advance. And what we do here is we will read this a couple times and then we will develop what we call a general impression. And that's a Tonyism. Tony Stonehawk, my elder, been with him for over 30 years. That is a Tonyism. The funny story behind that is, actually, let me tell you a funny story. So, I like Tony stories. It's a funny story. So I was all excited years ago when we started doing this. I said, Tony, hey, guess what? And this is before Whisper. So I had daily medicine. I said, I'm gonna do this like live thing, and I'm like, yeah, really exciting. Yeah, blah blah blah. I'm gonna do this, and then Tony's like the old. Yeah, he says, well, where are you gonna start? And I looked at him and I had no idea what he was talking about. I had no idea what he was talking about. I had doing this 25 years, right? Doing this whole thing, 25, 24 years at a time, right? And I'm looking at him like, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. So you have to give him a place to start. And he was right. That's the medicine we were teaching, right? He was teaching me things, right? So to just ask you a question, right? And so this is the way we start. So the general impression is the starting point. That's the East direction. That's where we welcome and this is not about right or wrong, good or bad, or anything like that. This is just about, really understanding. Hey, this is a new beginning of understanding, of healing, of love, of like all this thing, of connection, right? So that's what we mean by that. And because there was a comment, a question the other day about that, and I just wanted to explain that. So no one said that they love you. I love you very much. So, okay, Whispers from the Hollow Bone, what we're going to do again, and please, we suggest that you kind of write your general impression there. Again, we're not bad people, we're kind of good, right? We are getting healthy together. We are getting healthy together. So just you can express how and where you are. Okay, so the true beauty and power of love is that what you give away will always be a part of you. What does that mean to you? That is one of the most beautiful, profound, true beauty and power of love is that what you give away will always be a part of you. Sorry. The true beauty and power of love is that what you give away will always be a part of you. You can come in. This is my very, very special friend who brought breakfast this morning. So hold on. Want to say hi to everyone? Want to say hi? Not all of them. You gonna give me all of them? Oh, they're still warm. Okay. Sorry. I had a cookie yesterday and I'm going to eat right now. Want to say hi to everyone? Here. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi. This is everybody. You can say your name.
No.
Okay. All right. So.
I'm shy this morning.
She's a little shy this morning.
I haven't had coffee yet.
You haven't had coffee yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. All right. So apologize. Fresh bread in the morning. We love that. We love Moni. And so, anyway. So. Okay. Yeah, come on. Okay. All right. So she's walking by with fresh bread, and I wanted fresh bread because that's what bears do. So I had a cookie yesterday during the live. So anyway, so the true beauty and power of love is that what you give away will always be a part of you. That is so beautiful. Do you understand that? That's a full circle. This is like if we want to live a good life, this is how we do it, and not in a codependency sort of way. Let's go back to the question: how does that question respond here? They are intertwined and overlapping, right? This is beautiful. This is powerful, right? Right? This is beautiful. This is powerful. Right? Obligation and entitlement. Entitlement, we have no boundaries. With obligations, we understand the 7 sacred laws. So that we find these healthy boundaries. That means I don't like that. That means you don't get to do that. That means I don't get to do that. That means I don't get to act outside the realms of spiritual law. Right. Okay, that's what that means. What does this mean? How are these? They're intertwined and related. I want here just kind of think about that. Maybe write that as your takeaway. Right? The true beauty and power of love is that what you give away will always be a part of you. Right? Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Okay. There has to be a sunrise. Like in every statement, there's a sunrise, right? And at the beginning. But what are they trying to say? The truth. Okay, what is true? The truth. What is the truth? One of the 7 sacred laws. Okay, what is the law? Brought to us by the turtle people, the turtle nation, in accordance with again the sacred grandmothers. Again, they're really close and they're really beautiful, powerful, and close, right? Okay, what is the turtle? The turtle is truth, right? The truth is what? Knowing your place in the circle, knowing you have to go there with gentleness, with grace, being methodical, understanding everything that comes in bits and pieces. That's one of the general things. Right? The truth is that we should walk with spiritual law. That's part of that. That's a huge part of that, right? The truth isn't like cash register truth, right? It's part of that, but it isn't all that, right? The truth is that we should have good, healthy relationship, good, healthy boundaries, right? The truth is that we are not doormats. The truth is we shouldn't drink or drug, any of us, right? And I'm not saying that we're all alcoholic. I'm just saying that, everything we consume is medicine. So the reason why they make alcohol is to make a profit, right? It's not for our benefit, right? They claim it is. It feels good, looks good, nice shiny bottle or whatever. Like it's there, but the fact is, like they're in that greed category. So they want to take something from us, but they don't want to give anything back. So when we consume, that's what we're consuming. Okay, so let's put a little contrast medicine. Okay, water. We don't have a word for water. We have I totally forgot. Hold on. I totally forgot a word, but it translates to flowing harmony. So we drink the greed or we drink the flowing harmony. Which one do you want to drink, right? That's right. If you want to drink, and the same thing goes with drugs. Really goes with pharmaceuticals too. Well, maybe have a cold beverage. That's okay. But the pharmaceutical industry is not there for our benefit, right? It's not, right? It's just there for something else, right? So that's why we go holistic, right? We do this holistic because that's what and assuming something that's the difference right there. Spirit just told me that's enough. Okay, that's enough. So the truth. What is your truth? What is your truth? And to be able, so the truth is, and this is really important, write this down. So the truth doesn't stand alone, right? The truth never stands alone, right? It's like not on that mountaintop, with a cape running and it's there. It's like, I am the truth, right? And so that's religion says that. I'm the way, the truth, and whatever. But that's a false narrative. The truth is that it comes with a lot of friends and a lot of relatives. And so guess what else? The truth comes with courage. So if we don't know courage, how much do we know of the truth? if you can't speak, if you can't sing, if you can't state what you need, if you enter into these relationships, if you enter into these healthy relationships, then you won't enter into what? Negative relationships, right? That means we won't date Satan. Like how many people here dated Satan? I've dated a lot of Satans, right? And I thought that that's all it was. I'm saying, and I'm blaming them, I'm shaming them, I'm saying, how could you do this to me? And I'm just like, look, 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 it's like not even about them. It's about me and my relationship to what? The truth. And the truth is that I was hurt, wounded, afraid, scared, and it wasn't until, hey, I got to do something about this. And so what do? We go to ceremony, we sit with the elders, right? We don't ignore the elders, we sit with the elders, right? That's the difference between the colonial Western. We sit with the elders. We don't ignore the elders once, in the colonial world, once the elders get old, then we just ignore them, right? Because we're not getting everything. What's that lead to? Entitlement. But no, we put the value on the elders in indigenous realms because they have beautiful, powerful wisdom. Beautiful and powerful. Okay, let's get to the next phrase. Beautiful and powerful. I love you. Getting fired up here. Get fired up. Got fresh bread and fired up. It's a bad combination. So, I love you guys. So I'm munching right in front of you. So anyway, but we're like family anyway. I mean, I love you. It's just like, all right. So the truth. So let's go back to the truth and tell me, okay, the truth is humility. The truth is not humiliation. That's what we do when we ignore the truth. Write that down. When we ignore the truth, we get into these ridiculous situations, right? Right? When we understand the truth and humility, we don't enter into these or engage in these unhealthy relationships. That means people who drink or drug, right? And that means people who don't walk the ways of earth, right? Because they don't understand, right? So we date people from the colonial world, and they have that colonial mindset, and it's like, it's all about being selfish. Two people being selfish will never work, and that's the basis of most relationships, and that's why that's why in the States there's like 80% divorce rate because nobody's talking to themselves. Nobody knows anything about humility, courage, trust, like trust, truth, all these, like nobody has good relationships. So of course, so the breakup of the family and like all this. So let's get back to spiritual law. So when we walk with spiritual law, we become what? We become empowered, right? That's the deal. And so part of the reason how we know we are empowered is we don't want to drink or drug anymore, right? We don't want to enter into these relationships and anymore, these harmful relationships, right? No matter how sexy or how beautiful, we don't just enter. We just know. No. I will love you, and we understand how toxic they are too, right? Well, we're beautiful and powerful before, and now we understand, oh, that was really bad. That was really toxic. Like, I'll never do that again, right? And that's for people, places, and things. That's people or drugs. That's like everything. So when we understand and walk with the truth, guess what happens? These healthy, beautiful boundaries come up, right? Right? When you cross that line, I'm like, hey, I love you from over here. Right? That's the deal, right? So, beauty. What beauty? Okay. I love it. God, you know what? We're just going to run out of time because we're on the third word and we're on like 50 minutes now. So we're just going to run out of time. And because we're going to run out of time, I'm going to have another real good break. Truth, beauty. What is that? So if everything here, write this down. Everything starts with the spirit, right? Okay. Beginning in the east, new beginnings. Beauty. What is beautiful? What is beautiful? New beginnings. Beautiful. Right? I love you. I love you. New beginnings, right? Okay. So what are you feeding new beginnings besides this? Right? What are we feeding new beginnings? Sorry. I'm like a bear, man. I'm feeling very bearish right now. So what are new beginnings? What do we feed the beauty? Okay. We begin with spirit. And now what? Gentleness and compassion, right? Right? I love you. Gentleness and compassion. That's how we walk with. They are brothers and sisters. We just They're together all the time. When we're not gentle with each, how beautiful do we feel, right? That's like the contrast medicine right there, right? Like, you know, we feel sad, lonely, depressed because we're beating ourselves up, we're shaming because we did it. And really, the fact is, it is there to provide us a lesson. And so the lesson isn't humiliation. The lesson is what? Connection and change, and finding that beautiful place, and what? Power, that beautiful connection. Right. Beauty and power. Connection to what? How do we do it? Bits and pieces, hollow bones. This is what we do every day. This is what we do here every day. Right. Right. Hollow bones. Beginning with spirit, walking with spirit, understanding, being gentle. That's how we do it. Being compassionate, using kind words. These kind words, understanding this beautiful, beautiful flow comes from the Great Spirit and the ancestors. It comes from Mother Earth. It comes from all these beautiful. That's why we have the 7 directions, because we know wisdom and love comes from all directions. Here's contrast between the Western colonial patriarchal, which says like religion comes from one direction, comes from one book, everything you ever need comes from one, and that is absolutely ridiculous. And people believe that, they align their whole lives with it, and there's that constant thing of separation. That's the deal, right? No, we're not separating. We don't all need to be Christian. No one needs to be Muslim. No one needs to be anything. But we all do need to be connected to each other, honor the ways and honor how we do things, right? Oneness is not sameness. Okay. The power of love. Okay. So guess what we're going to talk about. I know what so truth and love intertwined. And you know what I'm going to bring up here. Intertwined. Here we go. There we go. Intertwined. That's the beauty right there. That's the beauty. A single strand of sweetgrass is beautiful, but guess what? Guess what's more beautiful? When we weave them together. A beautiful tapestry and poetry. Symphony of the Spirit, right? Symphony of the Spirit, right? And love. Love is the one that represented by the eagle that can carry all these teachings: humility, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom, and courage. Right? Love carries all these, and it carries all these where? To the ears of Creator. Right? That's why it's so big and powerful. That's why we know it flies above the storm. When the eagle flies so high, it goes into the next realm, right into the unseen realms. That's how big and beautiful and powerful it is, right? And the love is this absolute beautiful place of connection, right? Right, beautiful. You're to connect to both seen and unseen, right? The eagle is represented here in the physical, but it moves over into the spiritual. Okay, the true beauty and power of love is that, very clear, that, so put like an apostrophe there, that, what you give away, what you give, offering. We offer ourselves, we offer gratitude. Those who offer gratitude will live a better life than those who don't. Write that down. It's spiritual law, right? Right. Those who complain all the time are heavy, right? I have people that just complain all the time about everything, right? Because they have no relationship with love, the truth, honesty, respect, wisdom. And so here's like another thing, people that don't walk the way of earth, that don't walk spiritual law, will not treat your truth, will not value your life, your path. They will comment, they will gossip, they will do all that. They will start rumors about you, and that's just the truth. They have no relationship with the truth. And so they won't value your honesty, they won't value your respect, they won't value your love, they won't value your courage, right? And they will talk about you, right? And that's the deal. That's the human sickness, right? And so, you know, that's what we get, you know. It's kind of like it's related to trauma bonding. Well, I'm not healed. Well, I'm going to talk to you, and let's be unhealed. Let's be unhealed together. Let's talk about all those unhealed people. Let's talk about the healed people and how, like, you know, how controlling they are, right? But in actuality, that's a place of toxic. Okay, what you give away, what you offer. Okay, so the bigger picture is what our life is our offering, right? Our life is a ceremony. And the way we live this ceremony is our offering to what? The next 7 generations. The way we live our life as parents is our offering to our kids. But it doesn't end there. It goes down the line to the next 7 generations, right? Okay. Go ahead. Our connections, both semen, our connection to Mother Earth is our offering to the next 7 generations. Our offering to love is our offering to the next 7 generations. Our offering, the way we live and understand our truth, is our offering to the next 7 generations. What are you offering? What are you offering? Right. Okay. Love. Love is living in accordance with spiritual law. Love is understanding and walking with all those. Love is walking with humility. Love is walking with honesty. Who I am, where I am, right? I'm a beautiful Indigenous man, right? Not as a place of conceit, but a place of beauty, right? I can say that, right? I couldn't say that when I got here, right? Because all I saw here was the cleft palate. I spoke with a lisp. I spoke with a stutter. I was learning disabled. I was doing all these things. I was wounded and abused, and I couldn't take a look at those, right? But the more I walk with it, I understand that I am living a beautiful life. I'm living my very best life right now. They're asking me to go everywhere and share everything, and that's what I do. Sharing and honoring, right? Offering what? Love here, right? Right. The Great Spirit, and my prayer is, right? I will, through the Great Spirit, I will go wherever you want me to go, and I will do what you want me to do. And that's obviously living in accordance with spiritual law and offering these teachings. I speak on behalf of the ancestors and the Great Spirit, and that is my prayer. That is my offering, and that's why I've dedicated my life to this, right? And so now I get to go to these beautiful, beautiful places. Not because they want standing bear, it's because they want what flows through me. That's the love, and that's the humility. And that's the footprints that came to me from the ancestors. It's my job to carry this to the next 7 generations, right? Is that what you get? And so, let's not gloss this over. We talk about we, us, and our. We talk about the circle, but sometimes, the Great Spirit points out you as an individual. So you as an individual. So Daniela, Marianne, right? What you are doing now is you're offering to the next 7. Is it healthy? And this is not a blame, shame, guilt thing. This is kind of, hey, look, this is a reassessment, right? A reassessment is no blame, shame, guilt, right? Simple, yeah. What are you doing? What are you not doing? What are you saying? What are you not saying, right? These are, Chrissy, what are you doing? What are you saying? What are you not saying? Are you walking with courage, right? It doesn't begin with them. Everything blooms from the inside like a flower. The flower is a representation of the sacred center, and that you can write down. That is beautiful. We bloom from the inside. We water from the inside, right? And this is about you now. This is about everything. This is about Sybil, Chrissy, Daniela, Marian. You are beautiful, beautiful, powerful people. But sometimes we forget that, and when we forget that, we don't walk with that. And if we don't walk with that, then sometimes we do other things, right? And I get that, right? I get that because I walked in a really bad way for a long time, right? And I didn't understand that there was another way until Grandfather Tony said, look, I love you. And I said, I don't even know what that is, Tony. I've never heard that. No one's ever said that to me, right? No one, growing up in the orphanage and foster care, and my own white family never said it to me. So like, if you don't say it, I don't believe it. And then I wasn't worthy of it, right? So I had to work through all this, and then I had to drink and drug until I figured out that wasn't the way anymore, right? And so then I come here, and then the Grandfather Tony, beautiful, beautiful man taught me just to sit and be still, be calm, be gentle, right? And all those things the colonial world didn't teach me to do. The colonial world taught me the chaotic, this, that I need a relationship all the time. I need to be in one, because if I can't love myself, then I'm going to hold you hostage to love me, right? And I don't care if you're drinking and drugging, but you're still there until I get to that point where I don't know which one's worse, you drinking and drugging, you being and I get that, and I totally understand that, right? We bring these chaotic situations in, so we don't have to take the drug, we just have to bring it in, and the drug is often holding people hostage, and being coded. That's the definition for codependent. Now, I don't want to be codependent. I want to love somebody. I want to love myself, not to be concealed. But that means to love myself is having a good relationship with what? The seven sacred laws. This is an inside job. Write that down. This is an inside job, right? If we're in recovery, the big book, I'm in recovery, the big book says a price has to be paid. That means I have to do the spiritual work, right? I have to do the spiritual work. That means I have to sit. That means I have to be patient. That means I have to be practical. That means I have to go to ceremony. That means I have to sit with the grandmother. That means I have to sit with the grandfather. That means I have to do all these things, right? That is part of being what? My obligation, being accountable and responsible. Going back to the question, right? What is the difference between? Otherwise, if I'm not doing all that, then I'll become entitled again. Then I'll start taking from you. And at the end of all that, then I'll start drinking again. I'll start doing this because I'm entitled. I think everything's okay, right? As long as the romance and finance are going good, everything's okay. But beyond that, right? I got to be good without that, right? That's the deal, right? No romance, no finance, no money, no him or no her, whatever it looks like for you, right? So it's just like, I got to be good with that. I got to be good with a relationship with the truth. That's where we start, right? Just, relationship with humility, love, courage, respect, honesty, having good. That's our first relation. That's our first obligation, right? And while we do that, we are listening to the ancestors, and we are listening to what the next seven generations, because they are both right here. We have to act as if they are both right here at any time. Really write it down on paper. This is how, is this healthy? So that's when the answer is this healthy? Is this living according to spiritual laws? I don't know. Okay, will this affect negatively, like the next seven generations? Okay, will it affect it, like your kids? Like, start there, right? Drinking, drugging, probably really bad. Probably these codependency, having other relations, probably really bad, because they hear, see, and feel everything that we do, right? So we know that as children, right? Write that down. We can't be sneaky around our children, because they know. They already know. And parents know. I know that. I know that. I couldn't get away with anything from my children. They may not say it outright, but they know, right? And they will. Here's the thing. Here's a good thing and a bad thing. They will repeat everything that you do, just as we have repeated everything that we do. They will repeat everything that you do. Like, if you're going out being sneaky, like that kind of, whatever, going out doing that, they know that, right? Right. They already know, because everything is spirit. Spirit is energy. So whenever we walk into the room, it's already there. It's too late. It's already there. But we can't lie our way around the spiritual truth. We can't do it. People do it all the time, right? I do a lot of healing sessions, and that's the first thing. I ask them basic questions, right? To gauge where, not to gauge if they're good or bad, but just to gauge where they are in relation to truth, humility, love, and all these things. So, like, how are you doing? And they say fine. And I'm like, okay, if you're fine, you wouldn't be here. So I know, like, I know that you're not fine, right? So let's dig a little bit, right? But some people are really easy and just be like, how are you today? No, I'm not good. That's the reason why I'm here. I'm like, you see that? Did you see that? Right? People that tell me they're fine, I know that are not fine. I know that because it doesn't matter if I'm on a phone call, on Facebook, I already know, right? And it's not for me to tell you your truth. I don't do that, man. I may get a little tired. I may express that, but but because if we don't deal with the truth, guess what happens? The cycle continues, right? That's what happens, right? But the cycle also continues. What you give away will also be part of you. So there's a lot of contrast medicine going on here. So we're just going to run way over today. The beautiful thing is, and let's talk about what love does. Love transmutes. Love is a great rescinder. It takes back and gives no power to those things, those mistakes that you did before. You have to, we got some practice, we have to make amends, right? That's it. You can't ignore it. Like if you owe somebody money, then you owe someone an apology. The great amends is what? Beginning with spirit, change behavior, right? Change behavior, right? Saying, I said sorry a million times, and I'd be running out the back door doing whatever I was doing, right? Looking for somebody else, looking for the next hit, looking for the next drink, whatever it was. I'd be running out the back. I'd be running back door saying I'm sorry, and running out the back door, right? Or I'd disappear. I was really good at disappearing. Oh yeah, because I don't want to ashamed, But love switches that around. It is removed. When I started walking, it is removed. The obsession to drink and to drug and to do all these other behaviors, anti-life behaviors, right? Drinking is a problem, but not the problem, right? So dealing with the trauma, understand, and how do we deal with trauma? We start walking with the truth, right? We don't need a pill. We don't need anything, right? We need to walk with the truth, right? Walk with the truth, right? Walk in accordance with spiritual law. That's what that's what the treatment centers. They don't want you to know that. They want to keep you sick. You know what? You're a drug addict forever. No, you're not. No, that's no. No, because we can't transmute and change. Okay, you're an alcoholic. Once an alcoholic, an alcoholic. Because once we get to that truthful place, we don't even want to drink anymore. But if we keep going these places and, you're always a drug addict, you need to be a drug addict, after it means and then you're going to always remain at a level of sickness, of that dangerous level of being sick. But once we walk with the truth, once we understand this, it just, poof, it goes away. And then you won't even want to drink anymore. It's not even an issue. It's put in that neutral position. Doing bad behaviors, put it, you know what? I don't think so. Not today. I don't want that, right? That pretty girl that's drinking and drugging, no, man. That guy that's drinking and drugging is kind of off, right? Maybe he's off in the wind. Maybe you go visit him. And then, just kind of like, no, you get to that place, you're just like, fucking, no, man, no. I don't want that. I just don't want it, right? So it's like that positive and like negative thing. Like, you don't have to decide whether to drink or drug. It's just going to happen. Like, that's the deal, right? And it's not up to the big white guy in the sky. You are God. I got to put all my dependence on God. No, it's not that. It's the way we walk spiritually with the truth that really dictates, and these are given to us by the ancestors. That's how it goes. And it's given to us by the Great Spirit. These are the great laws of the universe. These are natural laws here on earth. And there are also natural laws here in the middle of the universe, right? So, There's not a big white guy in the sky saying, you need to believe in me and I'll take everything away. That's ridiculous, right? Because if that were easy, everybody would do it, right? And the fact is, everybody would do it because it'd be the easier way. Well, I don't have to do any work. Well, here, the deal is love is work. That's the deal. You do the work. That's why it will always be with you. That's the deal. Write that down. I love it. That's why it will always be with you. Right. That's why this will always be with you. Right. When you do the work, it is the work that will stay with you. If you don't do the work, then you'll never know. You won't become, you won't transmute. And you'll always make the same mistake until what? We start doing the spiritual work. I love you. I'm running way over today, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm trying to keep it to an hour, man, and I failed miserably. And now I'm like eating in front of you. I'm drinking coffee in front of you, But we're friends, right? We're like family, right? We can do that, right? Had a cookie the other day, right? Right in front of you. I was fired up. There. I said, you know what? So I love you. What's your takeaway? Because I just got to know. You can put your question in the feed. You don't have to private message me during the live, right? Okay, just say, I love you. I love you too. I love you very, very much. Okay, so what's your takeaway? Put your takeaway here, man. Just go ahead. Just put your takeaway, right? Being vulnerable is our greatest strength. I just saw Sybil friend. All right, kept it kind of short because we were running way over. The final word is this ceremony, babe, may end, but a ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here, loved here, and learned here, and listened to here, and take it here. Let's take it to the four winds, but before it goes out there, it has to go right here. If it doesn't go here, it won't go to our loved ones, and to our family, to our communities, our nations. It won't go there. So let's put it here, and let's take it out there. That goes far beyond hitting that share button too. Just share this. We'll share this with every group they have. Like if you don't share it, this is part of, there's a lot of love here. Don't think that you're sharing me. Share what we have done here. Like if you don't think you're part of what we have done here, then I would say rethink that, right? Like every comment is an offering. When you come here with love, that's an offering. Why wouldn't you share that, right? This is not about me. This is about we are the medicine circle. Right? This is about the beautiful flow that has flowing through. You have intimately changed what we have done here. Share that. Be proud of what we have done here, right? That's the deal. This is not about me. Don't make it about me. Because there's a patriarchy kind of thing. And I don't want to be in that because I'm sitting in the same circle with you. I want to sit here and I want to love you. And, so share it everywhere. And share it in the four winds. That's really most important. That means take this with you for the rest of your life. Okay. My name is Kim Kanipa with Matt Watts, Standing Bear. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day. Bye-bye.